A happy welcome to everyone for this grammar session. In today's class, let's see something about simple past tense. There's a saying that roses are red, violets are blue, and incorrect grammar is not cute. So let's now dwell into learning simple past tense. Now the question comes to your minds. What is simple past tense? The simple past tense, also called the past simple, past indefinite, is a verb tense which is used to show that a completed action took place at a specific point or a specific time in the past. The simple past is also frequently used to talk about past habits and generalizations. The action would have been completed in the past, but it is being referred to now. Now let's see where we use simple past tense and where we need to apply it to. The simple past is formed using the verb plus ed. In addition, there are many verbs with irregular past forms. Questions are made with did and negative forms are made with did not. So remember, questions are made with the word did and negative forms are made with did not. There are two different forms. Let's now see them. The first one is a statement. He prepared curd rice. This can be converted into the question form. Did he prepare curd rice? And also, obviously into the negative form, he did not prepare curd rice. Okay. What are the uses of simple past tense? When do we use and why do we use them? The first is a completed action in the past. The action would have got completed, but it's referred to now. The second is a series of completed actions. One by one, the actions would have got completed. Duration in the past. Habits in the past. Past facts or generalizations. Let's see the first use now. Completed action in the past. How does this take place? You can find here a diagrammatic representation. The present is in between past and the future at both the extremes. And now here, we need to use the simple past to express the idea that an action started and finished at a specific time in the past. Sometimes the speaker may not actually mention the specific time, but they do have one specific time in mind. For example, I saw a wolf yesterday near the hill. I didn't see John yesterday. I wrote my exam yesterday. He didn't meet Annie yesterday night. Going to the next use, a series of completed actions. So here we find that 3 actions or more than 3 actions take place one after another. And for all these actions, we use only past tense, simple past tense. These series of actions would have been completed in the past. They happened like one after another. For example, I finished my work, walked to the beach, and found a nice place to swim. The next one, did you add flour, pour the milk, and then add the eggs? Here in these 2 sentences, we find that these actions happen one after another. But we use only simple past tense to denote them. The third use is here, the duration in the past. So an action would have got completed, but the duration, it will be like it's a longer one. Okay, the simple past can be also used with the duration which starts and stops in the past. A duration is a longer action, often indicated by expressions such as for 2 years, for 5 minutes, all day, all year, etc. Here we have got 2 examples. I lived in Australia for 2 years. Probably when I say this sentence, I refer to that I was living in Australia for 2 years. We waited for 30 minutes. And the next use, habits in the past. The past tense can also be used to describe a habit which stopped in the past. It can have the same meaning as used to. To make it clear that we are talking about a habit, we often add expressions such as always, often, usually, never, when he was a child, when he was younger. Okay? So here we could see that in these two sentences, I studied French when he was a child. In the first sentence, like when he was a child, I studied French. So we tend to use simple past tense. And the second one, they never went to school. They always skipped classes. So again, like it's a habit which has stopped in the past. Okay, what happened earlier. And going to the next use, past facts or generalizations. The simple past can also be used to describe past facts or generalizations which are no longer true. This use of the simple past is quite similar to the expression used to. I used to eat a lot in my school days. Something like that. Now, two more examples for this usage. She was shy as a child, but now she is extrovert. He didn't like tomatoes before. And now, how to formulate the simple past tense. For regular verbs, add ed to the root form of the verb, or just d if the root form already ends in an e. For example, play becomes play, adding this ed. Type becomes type, listen becomes listen, push becomes pushed, love becomes loud. We also even have words like finished. For irregular verbs, things get more complicated. The simple past tense of some irregular verbs looks exactly like the root form. Put takes the simple past tense put itself. Cut itself. Set. Cost. Hit. For other irregular verbs, including the verb to be, the simple past tense are more reactive. See becomes saw, build becomes built, go becomes went, do becomes did, rise becomes rose, am becomes is, are becomes was or were. And now we have got the rules of the usage. The action that happened at some specific time in past. He went to market last night. Two or more consecutive actions that happened in the past. He entered the room, switched on the light, and fell flat on the bed. The finished action of the past. My grandmother used to hand wash her clothes. To talk about the people who are no more in this world, Albert Einstein presented the theory of relativity. Time or date expressions. The manager joined this office 2 days ago. Here is a list of irregular past tense verbs. It's a good collection of 101 irregular past tense verbs which I've collected from the web for you. Now, we have got to do some exercise. Write the simple past of the following verbs. What do we have for put? Yes, good. I hear the answer from you. It's put. For cry, it's cried. Steal, good. Stolen, come, came, do, did, beer, bore. B-O-R-E. We need to remember this is one of the challenging simple present tense verbs that we have. Now to the next exercise. Fill in the following blanks with the simple past tense of the verbs given in brackets. I dash your letter this morning. The verb which is given in the bracket is receive. So obviously the answer is good. I received your letter this morning. Thousands of people dashed their lives in the earthquake. Thousands of people lost their lives in the earthquake. The next one. Cyril dash 5,000 rupees from me. Within brackets, you have the verb borrow. So what could be the answer? Yes, good. Your guess is right. Cyril borrowed 5,000 rupees from me. Now, going to the fourth sentence. When dash you dash from Chennai? What could be the answer? There is only one verb here mentioned within brackets. So, it's a question. And in the earlier slides, we saw that we need to use, yes, the simple present tense form of verb. Do becomes did. So, how did you have? When did you return from Chennai? Remember that when you use simple past tense as a question form, it will be always did and then the subject, the question word plus did plus subject, and then you have the simple present tense form of the verb as such. There is no change in it. So now our answer will be, when did you return from Chennai? The fifth one, I dashed to her house on foot. The verb which is given in the bracket is go. So what is the answer? Yes, absolutely. It is went. I went to her house on foot. The last one, a thief dashed into our farm last night. Yes, the verb that is given within brackets is break. What could be the answer? Yes, it is broke. Often we tend to use or confuse with the word broken. But the right answer is a thief broke into our farm last night. Yes, good. Now, it's time for you, happy learners, to crack your brains. Shall we? Yes. The one we need to do now is make 6 simple past sentences from the following chart. Okay, the first column you have got pronouns, and the second one you have got 2 past tense verbs, and the third one you have got places. Okay, there are places, there are just words indicating places here and there. And the last column you have got last month, last year, yesterday, 3 weeks ago, 2 years ago, a long time ago, which refers to the duration, or we can say like yes, which refers to the period, the time. It indicates a time. Okay, so I'll just do one for example. I was in Delhi last month. Okay, I was in Delhi last month. So I am picking each word from each column, a word from each column, and with that I am able to construct a sentence. Okay, this is otherwise called as a mind map to how you use your mind to just construct new sentences. Okay, you're applying grammar rules. Okay, and what more, you too can easily construct a few more sentences just like I taught you. Yes, well, it's of course easy when you practice confidently. Okay, yes, and we need to remember that once we master the simple past tense forms for words, then constructing simple past tense becomes easier. It is all in how we get to know the correct form of simple past tense for the words. Okay, and now, yes, grammar is always considered to be a boring subject by learners, but I think I have made it interesting. So let's sing like a bird to twinkle like stars. Thank you.